Welcome and Happy New Year. This is my first video for 2022. I would like to do one every day, but we'll see. This is Thomas, and per popular request, let's dive into the Bitcoin hourly chart analysis. Last time I tweeted before I went hiking with my girlfriend was right around where this bird is. Where's this last tweet? We had a white candle, and I had already extended out the symmetrical triangle here a little bit further because the price was consolidating. And then at that time, in that last tweet, I mentioned that price will probably consolidate but ascend slightly, and that's what it did. This white candle here, or green candle on your screen, it went sideways and then went up and peaked up here and then went down. So the path I predicted was this H3 path here, which is this path. That's exactly what it did. So let's take a look at some indicators and see how that happened. One of my favorite indicator is the KDJ indicator. This indicator has three lines. You have the K line, which is the blue line. You can see that blue right there. The blue line is K. The D is the orange line, and the white line is the J line. I like to look at the J line, which is the white line, and that typically tells you what's going to happen. And let's take a look here. So here, the white line bottoms out here, somewhere here, and it goes sideways a little bit, and then it starts to go up and accelerate, crossing the blue K line and also the D orange line. Went up, crossed them both, and you can see up here that exactly what happened to the price. Now watch this. So here, it drops back down, you get the red candle, then the white line goes back up. When you see the white, the blue, and the orange line, when they fan out and they all kind of trend up, highly likely that the price is going to go up, and that's exactly what happened with this white candle. All right. On the other hand, when the J or the white line starts to trend down and meet the blue or K line with the orange D line, you know the price is going to go down. Pretty simple. But when the white line goes all the way down below both of the other line, you know it's going to accelerate, like depending on the slope, it's going to accelerate, and then it's going to bottom out. When it bottoms out, you can see what happened at the price line above. You got all these big red candles dropping to the bottom, and then it flans out. You can see that J white line here flans out and starts to go back up, and it repeats. See that? It crosses both lines, goes up, tops off, goes down right there, and starts to trend down. And then when it bottoms out here, you can see at the price line above, that's the bottom of that period. So let's take a look at what happened since we left off with the KDJ line. So when we left off, the J white line was coming down towards the K and the D, and then it dipped under slightly. The white line dipped under slightly and went back up. And there, as soon as it peaked up on the top, you got the white candle, and you get the other white candle here on its way up too. And then the white J line started going down again below the other two, and they start to fan out, but all three start to fan out, but on a declining slope. You can see going down, and you can see that's what happened here. 3 red candles, actually 4. And then, so that's KDJ. Take a look at that. It's a pretty accurate indicator on short terms. Let's take a look at MACD. MACD, as some of you may already know, when the white line drops below the red line, it's going to go bearish. And then when it goes up above the red line, it's going to be bullish. And you can see by the histogram that if it flips underneath that horizontal line and turns reddish, and then it's bearish. That is like a buy indicator, if you will. If it bottoms out like this, it's a buy indicator. And it flips to the top, it's like indicating it's oversold. And that's a sell indicator. But here you can see that there's a bunch of bars that are white. Typically, most people use green. There's a long period, a lot of hours of being bullish. And then it goes down to like a red flat line or bar here. And you can see that's what happened with the white line here. It stayed up above the red line and then tips back down. And here you can't see it, but on my screen I can see that it's just below the red line. And you can see it flipped bearish. So you combine that with the KDJ pattern up here to confirm what the price line is doing. Let's go down a little bit further and look at this group of 3 indicators that I like to use together. And that is the RSI, which is the reddish line. So I use R for red. And you get CVD indicator. I use the cyan or bluish green line here. And the MOM indicator or the momentum indicator, and that's in white. And I look at all 3 together. When all three are like fanning out away from each other but trending up, that's an indication that price is going to go up. Like here, you can see they're all together here, right there, and they start to fan out. Right, you see that? Price went up that way. And then here, when they go on a ascending slope that's really steep, going up, you can see what happened right there. Red giant white candle. And then if they all start to trend down, that's a very good indication that the price is going to go down, especially if the white or the momentum indicator starts to accelerate and drop below the other 2. And when they bottom out, like right here, you know the price line is going to bottom. And here you can see all 3, they start to turn up and the price went up. And then when they fan out completely, and you can see the white line overtook the red line and came up to here, that's also a peak for this white or green candle. And here they went sideways for a long time, like all 3 kind of spread out, going sideways. That's good indication that consolidation is happening. And here you can see right in this period, all 3 started to trend up slightly, especially with the momentum indicator. And you can see 3 white candles here up here. And they continue all the way over here. And here, all 3 started to trend down slightly, especially the momentum indicator right around here. See that? And then up here, you get 3, 4 red candles. And then here, the momentum indicator hit the red RSI line and bounced back up. You can see a white candle up here. And you combine the KDJ indicator with the MACD and the RSI CVD and the momentum indicator, they give you very strong confirmation about what the price line is doing. In addition to the chart view and the indicators, you want to also validate things on a heat map. So here's the heat map. The last time I tweeted before I went hiking was right around this yellow line here. And if you don't know what a heat map is, take a look at my tweet. I usually leave footnotes or related subtweets that have links to videos or additional information. I also have a YouTube video that describes spoofing and explains what buy walls and sell walls are. So take a look at that, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you, so you have a better fundamental ideas about how to read this chart. But let's take a look. Last time I tweeted, Again, price kind of consolidated, went up slightly here, drops back down, up again, drops back down, and consolidated. But why? Why did it do that? How does this heat map help us understand that price pattern? Because on the on this chart, you can just see candles. You don't see actually order books. Here you can see what the order books are. And you can see here, this scale right here, the darker deep blue colors mean that the order size are really small versus the deep red colors. That's a really large orders. So back here, you can see that underneath the price line, you have these buy walls supporting that price line. And these buy walls, and a lot of them are called spoofing buy walls. They're fake. They're there to fool the retailers into trying to set higher prices to sell, because they're fearing that these large orders will overwhelm their orders and their orders won't get executed, so they set a higher price, and so it drives price up. That's essentially what these buy walls do. And you can see they kind of, once they achieve their goal, they kind of disappear for a little bit, or they shift up. Here they shift up to force the price to go up some more. Here price drop down, so they didn't want to fill those buy orders, so they drop back down, and so on and so forth. They kept going. And then here you can see that this buy wall, a group of buy walls here, and this is a consolidated chart of various exchanges. So you don't see specific straight lines. For example, I'll give you an example. Here's Binance. Binance, you can see very distinct horizontal sell walls here, sell walls above the price line here, very distinct. These are probably the same entity. And down here, you can see buy walls here. Very distinct, and they change and they shift because they're fake. They don't want to get those orders filled. They're just there to force and manipulate the market. Same thing with Coinbase Pro. It's going to take a little bit to load here. Here, Coinbase Pro. Very distinct lines. And these are typically the same entity. They just keep bouncing around. But let's go back to the consolidated one, or the aggregated. So here, in the last few hours, you can see these group of red buy walls here. They're very big. You can see by their sizes here. You got 88, 75, 79, and 45 here. Together, they're very large. And to break through them is going to be very, very difficult unless they disappear. But it doesn't look like they're going to disappear, because what you can see here is that they weren't here, but then they started getting bigger and bigger as by the color, brighter and brighter, and it gets thicker and thicker. Thicker they are, that means that there's multiple walls within there. If you zoom in, you can see it, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to mess up the video here. So as long as you have these spoof sell walls up on top and the spoof buy walls in the bottom, the price will get forced to be in the middle. And that's exactly what happens. You can see 47,350. And this giant buy wall down here is roughly around 47,200. Chance of getting past 47,200 can be really difficult. So on this chart, you can see here, it's 47,350, and 47,2 is going to be right down here. Chance of it going down further with a red candle, very slim. So you can expect this to consolidate sideways like this for the next handful of hours, unless those walls change. And that's how you can use a heat map to confirm prices on this chart. Because if you use this chart alone and you do all those things that TA and crypto influencers do, draw lines and then come up with different scenarios that fit their thesis, well, you gotta need more data points to confirm it, and heat map is one of them. And combined with these other indicators like KDJ, MACD, RSI, CVD, and MOM, they will help you validate what you're thinking. And if they don't validate it, well, there you have other course of actions that you can take. But you can see here it went red. Like this candle turned from white to red because price is gonna drop, but it'll bounce back up because it's 47,339, 47.40, which is pretty much there, but it has some ways to go before it touches this 47.2 area here. So it's just gonna bounce, range right around this area between 47.2 and 47.6. That's roughly about $500 difference. So it'll range there for a while, and you can take a look at it later on in a couple hours and see that it'll just go horizontal pretty much. So 47, 47.6. So 47.6 is right around here, right there. And 47.2 is roughly right around there. So it'll just consolidate right around here for the next handful of hours. And that's it for the Bitcoin hourly chart analysis. I'll do my best to drop a video every day to help you understand more about what's happening in crypto and Bitcoin. I hope you like it. If you found value in this video, click the like button, subscribe, and if you dislike it, click on the like button twice. See you next time. Bye-bye.